Are you having fun in your business? I mean, it should be fun, right? Well, sometimes the fun gets overlooked when you're dealing with the have-tos, the complexities of being your own boss and actually running the show. It's my goal that this, the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast, can help reignite your spark of fun by providing tips, tools, insights, and inspiration so you can enjoy running your business in the simplest, easiest, most fun way possible. I'll be sharing practical tips and ideas that you can implement immediately, along with business and money mindset insights to keep you moving forward no matter what's going on around you. I'm your host, Deirdre Amies, the Fun Business and Money Coach and founder of Powered by Personality. Let's play. Hey there, and welcome back to the Fun Business, Fun Money podcast. If you're listening in real time, it's Tuesday, the 22nd of August, 2023, which means this is our longer coaching episode this week. There are 2 Fun Business, Fun Money podcast episodes each week. A longer one like this, where we go into a bit more detail on a specific area of your business. And the other one is, in theory, a shorter tip, tool, or tactic that you can implement immediately. And I say shorter, it's with a bit of tongue-in-cheek humor, meaning 10 minutes or less. But if you've been listening for a while, you know that doesn't always happen very often at all. But you know what? It's always something useful. Now, before we dive into today's juicy topic about your ideal clients, I want to give you a quick reminder that I currently have space for a couple of new one-on-one clients in Ignite, my business and money coaching program, beginning in September. Ignite is for fun-loving digital creatives. We're talking the web designers, the copywriters, social media managers, those kind of people, and of course the beautiful coaches who want to turn their 3 to 10K monthly revenue into 10K monthly take-home pay and profit, or what I like to call fun money. We work together one-on-one for a minimum of 6 months to work out any kinks or wobbly bits in your business. And we make it a simple, streamlined thing of beauty with clear offers, a specialized niche, and pricing that supports your financial goals as you grow and scale without burning yourself, because ain't nobody got time for that, am I right? If that sounds like your kind of thing, let's have a quick chat. I'll send you the application and we'll be off and running. Send me a DM. I'm at Fun Business, Fun Money, all one word, on both Facebook and Instagram. You can connect with me on LinkedIn and send me a DM there. I'm the only Deirdre Amies in the world. And if you're on my email list, you can hit reply to any of my emails, because it's always me who answers. Or you can send a fresh new email to hello@deirdreamies.com. You'll find all of those links in the description of this episode and in the show notes. Alrighty then, let's talk about your ideal clients, shall we? I say ideal clients, but that's not the greatest term, is it? I like to change it up. Sometimes they're yes clients, because we all want them to say yes. Yes, shut up and take my money. And sometimes they're dream clients, dreamboat clients, soulmate clients. So many different variations, but in the end, we're all talking about the same thing. The clients that you're excited to work with, and they're excited right back. And together you create amazing results because all the good vibes are flowing. You're on the same frequency. Communication is easy and clear. And the whole experience is awesome for you and for your client. You know them when you see them. But the burning question that almost everyone has is, where do you find them? And that's what we're working on today. I've got 6 things that you need to know about your ideal slash dreamboat slash soulmate slash yes clients in order to make that connection and get them buying whatever it is that you're selling. So here's the quick rundown of those 6 things that you need to know. The first one is, what stage of business are they at? The second one is demographics. The third, psychographics. Number 4, what kind of business is it? Number 5, what type of business or industry? That's different to the previous one. And number 6, buyer behavior and their money personality. That's all. Thanks for coming. It's all you need to know. I'm kidding, of course. That's a nice list, and some of it may be completely obvious stuff that you've done before. So let's get busy breaking each one down in a bit more detail. Number 1 was the stage of business they're at. Are they a beginner or are they a seasoned pro? This is something that's really easily overlooked. I mean, I've had people approach me with their offer because I seem, in air quotes, to be their ideal client. But then it turns out to be something at a very basic entry level or something more suited to a large business with a marketing team already in place. And I am neither of those. So here's some questions for you to consider. And if you want to take some time and work through this, I've done the hard work for you already. You'll find all of this in the transcript with all the details linked in the description of this episode. You are totes welcome. The questions on what stage of business they're at are they just getting started in their business? Do they have a few years' experience under their belt, or at least enough for them to know that perhaps going viral and quick wins are nice, but they're also not sustainable? Do they have 5 or more years' experience? What have they tried so far? What have they achieved so far? Now, you can work with anyone at any of those stages, whether they're a beginner or a seasoned pro. It's totally up to you. And don't go thinking that someone at the start of their business isn't ready for whatever you offer. And also, don't go thinking someone with years of experience doesn't need your help. The difference is simply where you're picking them up, what you can help them with, and where you're dropping them off, so to speak. The second one is demographics. And this is where most ideal client profile formulas or systems seem to focus. They tell you to build an avatar of your person so you feel more like you're marketing to a real person. Give them a name, give them a life, all that stuff. Demographics include things like age, income level, education, life stage, generation, gender, or location, and other things as well. All of which is nice to know. But there's a lot of assumptions involved unless you actually sit down for a chat with a real person that you think represents your ideal client. Something I highly recommend. But it's a fairly one-dimensional view of who your people really are if you're solely going on the demographics. The third one is psychographics. This is taking it a little bit deeper. Psychographics is more about them as a human being and how they think. What interests do they have? What activities do they enjoy? What does their life actually look like? What values and beliefs do they hold? These are always good things to consider, especially if you're going to be working one-on-one with this person. Having common interests or being able to relate to their lifestyle helps to build rapport, and it gives you something to talk about and lighten up the energy as you come into each new session. Their values and beliefs may or may not align with yours. You may never actually know what their values and beliefs are for sure. But if you're observant enough, you'll have at least a vague idea. Now, as an example, my values are freedom, simplicity, and integrity. Those show up in everything I do, whether it's actually stated or not. And of course, fun is included there as well. Everything is geared towards creating time and financial freedom. And it's got to be simple and clear because, let's face it, life is far too short for complex BS getting in the way of the freedom. And integrity is a huge one for me too. I can't stand ego trips or blatant copycats, just as an example. Let's just be decent humans, claim your mistakes, and be upfront about stuff, okay? Now, those values might be completely different to someone else who appears to be quite similar to me. Their values may be family, their faith, and responsibility. And really, this is a whole other topic in itself, but you get the picture of how it can be a differentiator. The fourth one to consider is, what type of business? Is it B2B or B2C? Now, B2B, it means business to business, and B2C is business to consumer. Are you targeting someone who runs a business, or are you targeting the end consumer? Now, I work with other business owners, so my dream clients are B2B. If you're, say, a web designer or a copywriter, you're most likely going to be working with other business owners as well. If you're perhaps a health coach, your ideal clients could be more likely the end consumer. Therefore, your ideal client is a B2C. And something else to consider in this area is whether your ideal clients are corporates or entrepreneurs. You can help them with the same outcomes, but the scale you do it on will differ, as will the language that you use and the process you go through to get them signed on. Now, I tend to think of corporations, having worked in them for a couple of decades, I think of them like a big cruise ship. There's lots of people and a whole bunch of processes all working together to operate this big thing. But it also means that things move a lot slower. There's many levels of communication to go through before you can get an answer or an approval. And any major change of direction can also be really slow to implement, even if you've got the approval. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, they're more like an agile speedboat. They can make a quick decision and change direction in an instant because there's a lot less layers of management or approvals to go through. Often the person you're dealing with is the decision maker, and they can say yes on the spot. The fifth one to consider is firmographics. That is a really weird word, but it's a nice, neat way to say the industry, the type of business, or the size of business that you want to work with. So let's say you're a web designer who wants to focus on a specific industry, such as holistic health practitioners. Now, that still covers quite a few options. It could be nutritionists, therapists, healers, all those kinds of things. So I would still further at some point, but that's a really good solid place to start and get you focused on a particular industry. Are they a startup or are they a non-profit? The startup and the non-profit might ultimately serve the same people, but how you approach them, how the decisions are made, and how you work with them will be very different. And again, niching it down a bit further to the type of non-profit or startup that you want to work with will make your job so much easier. What size of business do you like working with? This could be by number of employees or by their annual revenue. I love working with solopreneurs and those who have a small support team or perhaps the beginning of an agency model. I help them to implement the foundations so that they can scale and grow without stressing or anyone burning out, because that's the worst possible outcome for your big, hairy, audacious goals, right? You might like working with businesses that have at least 5 employees or up to 5 employees, 10 to 20, any number you like, who just a business that needs your expertise. You might want to target businesses making at least $1 million a year in revenue, or 100,000, or I don't know, pick a number. They have established systems and processes, and you can just slot in there with your expertise in a particular area to help them streamline things. There's also the fact that those bigger companies are more likely to be able to pay your fees in full, on time, than, say, a solopreneur who was just starting out. And the last one to consider is buyer behavior and their money personality. How do these people spend their money? Because that's ultimately what we're wanting to do. We want them to spend money with us, with you, with me. So what's their relationship with money like? What kind of personality do they have? Are they fun people, for a start? This isn't something you'll necessarily know for sure about their money personality or their relationship with money, unless, of course, you're a certified Sacred Money Archetypes coach like me with an online quiz that they can take. But there are always signs if you know what to look for. Even on a really basic level, you can take a guess based on the words they use and the questions they ask, the things that they share on social media. So if you don't yet know your money archetypes, go take my quiz and find out. Head on over to deirdreamies.com/take-the-quiz. You'll find the link to that in the description and in the show notes. I covered the money archetypes in detail in episode 3, Unlock the Power of Your Money Personality. And I also went into the buyer behavior of each money archetype in episode 29, which is called 8 Money Habits You Need to Know About Your Ideal Clients. You'll find the links to both of those episodes and the quiz, as I mentioned, in the show notes. So make sure you go check them out. That'll give you some insights. Now, once you've got all of this stuff figured out, what do you do with it? Well, you bring it all together so you've got a clear picture of who you are talking to. This is one of the best marketing skills you can have, in my opinion. Being able to understand your clients, whether they're actual clients yet or not, on such a deep level that they can instantly see themselves in your words. You're speaking their language, that you're using the words that they use, and vibing on a personality level right from the start. So by the time you're actually working together, it's like you're besties already. So here's something I want you to do right now. And it doesn't matter if you're on the move and you can't write anything down. You can always check out the transcript, which is linked in the description of this episode. I want you to think of your favorite client that you've ever worked with. That name should just instantly pop into your head because they were so awesome. Who are they? What is it about them that made your time together so enjoyable? What are the results that you helped them to achieve? What words do they use to describe their situation, both before working with you and afterwards? Now, of course, if you haven't had any clients yet, either because you're just starting out, or maybe you're changing things in your business and focusing on a new niche, you can still do this. Think of someone that you know that really appeals to you. What is it about them that excites you? What's their biggest challenge that you can help them with? What will their life look like after you've worked together? What words are they using when they talk about their challenges and their desires? All of that gives you the clues you need. And your next step from there is to talk to these people. As I said at the start, you know them when you see them. But that burning question, where do you find them? They're right there in your current network. They're all around you when you take the time and get quiet. You pay attention and listen instead of talking. If you're serving corporates or almost any kind of business, chances are those people have some kind of presence on LinkedIn, or maybe they're on Instagram if they're a visual creative type. You can do a shout out on any social media platform or to your email list, anywhere really, and say, who do I know? And then describe your ideal client. Those people will either raise their hands or they'll be tagged on your post by others who recognize those things in the people they know. So a quick recap on those 6 things you need to know about your ideal clients. Number 1, what stage of business are they at? Are they just getting started or a seasoned pro? Number 2, demographics. Age, income, location, job title, all that stuff. Number 3 was the psychographics. What are they interested in? What values and beliefs do they hold? Number 4, are they business to business or business to consumer? B2B or B2C? Number 5, what type of business or industry? Are they a startup, non-profit, government, corporate, solopreneur, all of that? And number 6, what's their buyer behavior and money personality? Which, as I said, take your best guess based on what they say. That's what I got for you today. I hope that helps you dig at least a little bit deeper, maybe even a whole layer deeper on who your ideal dreamboat, soulmate, yes clients are. So you can quit being generic and a bit vague in your marketing content. You don't need to keep firing stuff out there hoping something sticks. That's just a time and energy suck, and it feels like a chore when you're not seeing any results or the engagement for your efforts. Nobody wants to be shouting into the void. And as I mentioned at the start, if you'd like my eyes on your business to help with this and all the other sticky bits going on, reach out for a quick chat about how we can work together. Send me a DM. I'm at Fun Business Fun Money, all one word, on Facebook and Instagram. Connect with me on LinkedIn and send a DM there. I'm the only Deirdre Amies in the world. Or send an email to hello@deirdreamies.com. You'll find those links in the description and in the show notes. Take the time to get specific and really understand your people from all the angles. Have fun playing with this and connecting with the real people behind the imaginary ideal client avatar. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me. If you found this episode useful, make sure you hit that follow button on your chosen podcast platform so you get the notifications when each new episode goes live and you don't miss anything. If you know someone who would also get something from it, don't be shy, share it with them. One of the best things about being a business coach for online entrepreneurs is helping them make sense of their creative ideas and turn them into a simple, clear business system that actually makes money. A client recently described me as a castle building expert. You've got the big vision and some of the building materials already, but you don't quite know how to bring it all together into a solid foundation. Then I come along and I show you the blueprint that makes sense of it all. I love that analogy. And I'd love to show you your personalized blueprint, the one that's just right for you and your clients. But I can't do that until you join Ignite, my business and money coaching program. So head on over to deirdreamies.com/ignite for all the details. Fill out the application form and let's talk about building your castle in the simplest, easiest way possible.